this holiday season is a safe season and
Yes,
that
ma'am.
everything goes great.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you again, Brandon.
Well, thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
One time.
Welcome back from break, and we have here with us now Douglas Fire Chief Tim White. Chief White, thank you for being here today, and we're looking forward to you sharing some good fire safety tips with us about this holiday season coming up.
Thank you, Blondie.
With the holiday season fast approaching, a lot of people are going to be cooking at home. They'll be cooking at home, they'll be cooking inside, outside, and all around. What are some statistics as far as how many fires occur, or how many fire injuries do we have each year during the holiday season?
Well, on record with National Fire Protection Association, which collects all that data, on average there's about 445 incidents a year, whether it be house fires from cooking incidents or household cooking injuries.
Right. And I've seen some of those videos. Some of the type of injuries I've seen is like when people try to deep fry a turkey or something like that.
That's one of the big things, is deep frying turkeys and the grease fires. If you're not careful when you do it, it could cause a flashover and actually burn down the house or injure you or burn you.
Okay. Well, what are some of the fire safety tips you can offer for anybody cooking around cooking equipment or anything?
Well, anytime you're cooking, like I say, during the holidays, people are cooking more, so you want to be more careful during the holiday season. But anytime you're cooking, you want to be particular about your clothing.
Okay.
You don't want to wear loose clothing, because loose clothing, such as nightgowns and things of that nature, could drape over the stove eye and catch on fire. So you want to try to keep your clothing tight so that it doesn't catch on fire.
Okay.
Other things are making sure that the pots are turned inwards, so the handles are not out. You know, if kids come up there, whatever, they could easily grab the pot handle, tip it over on them. Or if you hit it when you're turning around to do something else, so make sure you're aware of that. Another thing is just the counter space itself. Make sure it's not cluttered and doesn't have things that could fall on top of the stove eye.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is just watching it and maintaining a visual when you are cooking. Way too often we get calls to house fires, and I was only out of the house just a few minutes, and I was cooking something, and see what happens.
It can happen really quick.
Exactly.
If somebody should have like a grease fire or something like that, what should they do to put that out? Or?
Well, we recommend you call 911 immediately.
Right.
Because we feel like that unless you're trained to do it, if you have a fire extinguisher, by all means, and you're trained to use it, then that's fine to try to use it. The easiest thing to do is take a pot lid. If you have a grease fire, have a pot lid that'll fit that pot. Simply set it over the top of the fire and it'll go out.
Okay.
But we recommend that you get a hold of 911 immediately, because fire can spread quickly, and if you don't call 911, then that's going to be a delay in us getting there.
Right, and like you're saying, you may be trying to put the fire out on the stove, but there might have been something else that had caught on fire in the process.
Exactly.
And I like the fact that you mentioned about child safety during the times, because I have a younger daughter, and she's real interested in helping me cook right now. So one of the things that I try to make sure of is I keep those pot handles turned away from her, and of course she's not in the kitchen without me.
Right.
So that helps out a lot. What kind of home safety tips, like as far as with Christmas trees or wiring or anything like that?
Anytime you're putting up a Christmas tree, whether it be live or artificial, on the live ones particularly, you want to make sure that you keep them watered.
Okay.
Way too often people get a live tree and they forget to water the tree. It doesn't take but just a day or so for the tree to dry out.
Right.
And we've done some videos in the past of dried out Christmas trees, and they go up like a match.
Right.
So you want to make sure that if you are using a live Christmas tree, that you keep it watered on a regular basis.
Okay.
If you're using an artificial tree, same with live trees, you want to make sure that your electrical wires and lighting and all is in good shape, and that it's a UL approved light that you're using.
Okay.
You want to inspect them every year before you put them on. Make sure you have no frayed wirings, no loose connections, things of that nature. Just general common sense stuff. You don't want to use something that's not safe.
Now, if you're putting outdoor lighting, what should you use, or what should you look for?
You want to make sure that those are for outdoor purposes.
Okay.
There is a difference. You don't want to just take a regular tree light and go to hanging it up on your house. Another thing, a lot of people put them up with staples. You want to make sure that when you're doing that, you don't actually staple through one of the wires, because it could cause a short, and over time you could have a fire.
Okay, all right. Those are some great tips. Also, with the fire season, my goodness, no, with the holiday season, we know that sometimes people like to celebrate with fireworks. What are some tips that you could offer, or what are some of the tips that you can offer regarding the new laws that have come into effect?
Well, the new laws have definitely made it more challenging for the fire departments, because now you can purchase legal fireworks and the real thing, and get people out there. Kids are fascinated by fireworks. So one of the biggest things is make sure that the person doing the fireworks are at least 16 years or older.
Right.
Make sure that you have some type of water source by when you're doing it. And, also make sure that you have parental supervision to make sure they're not pointing them at somebody or doing things that they shouldn't do with them.
Right. Don't be acting fool with
right.
it, as they say.
If the fireworks are used correctly, they're safe and they're fun. But if, it doesn't take but just a minute to be a catastrophe.
Right, and like with the little sparklers and things like that.
Even those can be dangerous. The kids love the little sparklers, but if you've ever done one of the sparklers, they get real hot.
They do.
So if you were to touch them, it could easily burn. So just make sure you're using common sense and keep a parent or guardian there with them.
Okay. All right. Well, Chief White, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about today about the season?
Like I say, the biggest thing is during the holiday season, make sure that you're conscious about what's going on when you're cooking or when you're putting up a tree. Make sure that you check your electrical outlets in your home. A lot of times during the holiday season, we're plugging a lot of things into the outlets, and you're overloading the outlets, so make sure you're aware of that. And make sure that if you're using heating sources, that you're also careful with those, because with holiday season comes cooler weather. And you want to make sure that your heating elements and things are away from things that could catch on fire.
Okay.
So any questions that anybody has during the holiday season, they can easily call us at 384-4815.
Okay.
And someone at the fire department will be glad to assist or go out and help in any way we can.
Okay, and always, like you were saying earlier too, in case of an emergency, you dial 911 first.
Right.
All right, well, thank you for being here, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
One time.
Welcome back to the Douglas on My Mind show. We're here now with Patty Merritt, the Main Street Coordinator for the City of Douglas. Patty, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Blondell.
I hear there's some great events coming up in downtown Douglas, so...
Well, there's always great events in downtown Douglas.
Especially on Main Street, right?
Exactly. When you're in Main Street, that's where the events are at.
All right.
Just really quick, just to let everyone know, yes, we do have a couple of events that are going to be coming up here in the very near future.
Well, what's the first one?
Well, the very first one we've got, and this is an oldie but a goodie.
Okay.
It's one that has actually an event that has been around for 30 plus years, and it is just basically has branded itself as just a big retail shopping event. It's Holiday Open House. This event always happens on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So it will be this Sunday, November the 22nd, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So
Everybody needs to mark their calendars every year for the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
every year it's going to be the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
All right.
When you've got a successful event, I guess it kind of goes with the old saying of, why fix the tire if it's not broke, or ever how it goes, the little saying there. So this event is definitely not broke. It doesn't need any fixing, so we're just going to keep rolling with it the same.
Well, about how many downtown merchants do we have participating this year?
Well, the way it runs is I actually, with my job as being the Main Street manager, then I oversee what is known as a Main Street district. However, I don't eliminate anybody, any business, any small business that wants to participate with Holiday Open House. Any business, even in the downtown business district, they're allowed to do so. So just going by the Main Street merchants that I'm aware of, plus the downtown business district merchants that I'm aware of, we're looking at least 20 plus small businesses altogether that will be participating with Holiday Open House this year.
Okay,
So
great.
it's going to be a really good. I can tell everybody now, bring your cameras because from my understanding, Santa's going to be at Cribs and Cradles.
And another special guest star.
I'm aware of the Grinch. He's going to be at Oasis Med Aesthetics, and I'm sure I know these merchants so well. A lot of them are going to have surprises on that day that I'm not even aware of because they're wanting to keep it a secret.
Yes, and a lot of them offer hors d'oeuvres or light refreshments in their building as you are
Right.
shopping.
Almost every merchant that is open on that day, they will offer refreshments or some form of entertainment, some form of activity while they're there in their business. We do have restaurants that are going to be open on that Sunday that are typically
good.
not open. So they will be open with a special menu. One of those restaurants, for example, will be J&D Cafe. Very successful,
food.
and that is some good food. And he did a wonderful job last year with his lunch buffet that he had. I actually had the opportunity to sit and eat prior to the crowds coming in. So he's probably going to be open this year again for lunch. I do not know his menu, but I'm just letting you know, even though the hours are from 1 to 5, I would be downtown around noon if I
Right.
were everyone.
So get fresh out of church and go straight downtown.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, and we do have another event that's coming up right after Holiday Open House. You want to tell us a little bit about Small Business Saturday?
Small Business Saturday, to let everyone know about this very quickly, this is us, as far as the City of Douglas, will be our second year for being nationally recognized as a neighborhood champion through the American Express initiative of Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is a program that started with American Express 6 years ago. The reason behind was not just necessarily to get somebody to use their American Express card, even though that was the whole idea behind it for American Express that first year. They were so successful with this initiative the first year that it was the second year that through the White House, through the federal government and the President of the United States, that they actually signed off on the initiative as a national initiative throughout the nation to encourage people to shop with small businesses, particularly through the holiday season. Because the truth of it is a lot of people, they do hit the big box retailers, whether it be Walmart, Kmart, Target, those stores, and there's nothing there against them. It just really does hurt a small business when people seem to forget about a small business.
Right, our small local businesses need some love too, don't they?
They need love all year round,
Right.
and so that's how we started. And I applied last year for the City of Douglas, and my idea was accepted. We submitted the same idea this year, and I was very proud when I saw that where the City of Douglas, we were actually on American Express's their worldwide website as for being number 2 in the nation for the best ideas.
Worldwide.
And really, I will be honest with you, the reason why our idea hit number 2 worldwide simply was because the idea is free. It costs nothing for us to do this Small Business Saturday.
Right, we just
So-
ask merchants to participate.
That's all we do. We just ask them to participate and to say, look, Small Business Saturday, November the 28th, shop small, shop local.
All right.
And that's where we're at. So
Is there a
any-
specific time that the people need to come downtown?
Well, what I can tell you is this: number one, with any small business, the privilege of being a small business owner is you set your hours.
Right.
So I can't tell you that this event will be on Saturday, November the 28th from 10 to 6. Those
Right.
business hours are left up to that business. However, on Saturday, November the 28th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.,